because we firmly believe in them, and the results that we're cranking out on a week-to-week and month-to-month basis. You guys might have seen me post a couple of times in here. We're averaging over 100 pounds of fat lost every single month right now in our private community. But it's not just about fat loss. These guys have soaring energy levels. That's the number one thing that we're hearing back is, I cannot believe how much better my energy levels are. Adding lean muscle mass, being able to do more active things with their friends, their family, their kids. If you guys saw Rick's interview from last week, this guy came in and hadn't done much exercise in a really long time and is now outside running around with his dog, his 1-year-old dog that he loves near and dear, right? And so the quality of life aspect is such a massive part of what we do. And so we're gonna dive in. If you guys don't know much about myself, Anthony, Zach, there's a link in the welcome post. You can go read a little bit about us. We all come from a place where, you know, we dealt with our own weight issues. I was 60 pounds overweight. Won't go too much into our stories right now. We've all got health and fitness backgrounds. I was a registered nurse for 6 years in the ICU, and we'll touch on that in a little bit because we did get a question around, the cost of working with us. And I want to touch on that, man, because I've seen a lot of really, really, really bad things happen. And we don't want that to happen to anybody in this group if we can help prevent that. Our mission is to make the biggest impact that we possibly can in the male obesity epidemic in this country. So that is my intro for you guys tonight. Before we dive in, I do want to let Zach and Anthony get a couple words in here before we start going over the questions, man. But what I want also say is, if you guys have questions that you didn't drop in the announcement post, drop them in the live stream right now, and we will get to them. If we don't answer them tonight, we will go back through the live stream tomorrow, and we will make sure we give you clarity on anything you have a question on. So if it's men's health related, period, I don't care if it's about erectile dysfunction, or a prostate exam, like there's nothing you're going to say or ask us that we haven't heard before, and we want you guys to be able to feel comfortable here. It's a private men's group, and that's what we're here to do is help you as much as possible. So that's my intro. I've got Anthony right below me and Zach to my right. So we'll start with Anthony. Anthony, what's up, my man? I'm excited to have all three of us on tonight.
Me too, absolutely, guys. So listen, tonight's going to be about getting your questions answered. We're definitely going to give you value. There's three of us, three-headed monster, the trifecta, as we like to call it, which, all similar perspectives, but in some cases, we've all got different backgrounds and different ways that we were brought up in. And listen, we're all professionals, but that doesn't mean we don't have the same struggles you guys have. Like we've all gone through our issues, and, I've made plenty of mistakes along my journey, and we've all gone from, in many cases, fit to fat to fit again. So that's the thing with this. It's, we want to get your questions answered. We've all had similar struggles. We're not special. We've been through it. We figured out a way to maintain, and we want to help impact others and get you guys the roadmap, the confidence, and get you guys set up for success so that, this is an ongoing journey. There's no finish line to fitness, right? We have to continue the process and fall in love with the journey and continue on the path. And that's what we want to teach you guys. And, that's our ultimate goal. So excited to be here, excited to answer questions. We're all dads. We all have families. We all want to do what's best for ourselves. Cause in order to take care of our families, we've got to take care of ourselves first in order to better take care of our families as well. So that's it. That's all I got.
Love it. That's the old flight attendant analogy, man. Put your own mask on first before you take care of anybody. Yep. And leading by example is such a crucial aspect of really becoming the healthiest and most elite version of yourself. And that's what we all want. So, Zach, what's going on, my man? All the way from Vegas.
Yep. You know it, man. I'm excited to be here, man. First time we got all three of us on here, man. It's going to be cool. So guys, I really do encourage you guys to drop your questions in there, because just to let you know, I myself, when I was doing my own one-on-one coaching, just for a 30-minute consultation, I charge like $150 though. So this is your opportunity to get all these answers from all three of us, like for free right now.
Yep. Because on a weekly basis too, man. Yeah, so that's the key. Yeah.
On a weekly basis, because this is the value we want to provide you guys. We want to help you guys. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm the same as these other two gentlemen here. Fit, fat, fit. That's what you're going to hear. Me, I was 50 pounds overweight and damn, I never want to go back there again. So guys, drop those questions, man. Let's get you the help you want.
Awesome,
Tell me
man.
the help
Awesome.
you need. Let's get it done.
I love it. I love it. And let me just kind of paint this vision for those of you guys who are you feel like you're in a place where you're stuck right now, or you feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place, and you don't seem to be making any progress, right? Motivation's lacking, inspiration's lacking. Maybe you followed the fat diets and you lost 10, 20, 30 pounds and then only to gain it back. Maybe you're frustrated and you're overwhelmed with the uphill battle that you're facing, right? 20, 50, 80, 100 pounds. We've seen it all, man. We've got guys that have come into our program at over 400 pounds that are doing really, really well. We've also got guys that came in with not enough weight and wanted to gain some muscle mass and get healthier in terms of nutrition. So we help guys from all shapes and sizes. And the number one thing that I would tell you is just think about this. Create this vision for yourself, because we want you to know there is a better way. Whether you work with us or whether you don't, if you work with somebody else down the road and they're able to help you achieve optimal health, totally cool. We're here to make an impact. And the reality is if you can have a better way, just envision yourself in a place where you have achieved optimal health. You are performing powerfully and consistently on a daily basis. Your energy levels are soaring. You're waking up every day without an alarm clock. You can keep up with your kids, your family, and you can do all the active things that you want to do without going up a flight of stairs and being winded, without tying your shoes and being winded. I've been there. I've done that. I've lived that life with the chronic low back pain and always being out of breath. And it wasn't a life for me. And so I want you to know there's a better way. I'm 41 years old and in the best shape of my life. And I'll tell you right now, we've got a lot of guys in our program right now that are 50s and 60s and are making huge strides. And so there is a better way, and we want you to know that. So with that said, what we're going to do, I had a total of 7 questions submitted. Some of those through email. I think there was only 1 question on the announcement post. Some of these guys are dropping questions in here now. So we'll definitely come back and come back and circle to those. So with all that being said, the number 1 question, or the very first question that we got is, what is your approach to a new guy who's out of shape in terms of exercise? Like how do you work with that? And I'll just answer that real short, and I'll let Zach and Anthony chime in here. But the one thing that we are big on, and we call it our fitness elevation method, is that we want to meet you where you're at and then take you to where you want to go. The reality is this is what we do it's a very high level results driven experience. This is not a come lose as much weight as you can in 6 months or in 6 weeks kind of deal. This is hey, we're going to show you an entire lifestyle that's going to give you a permanent solution so that you have long-term success with fat loss and being the healthiest version of yourself. And in doing that, the last thing that we want to do is just throw you into the gym or throw you into these home workouts where you're hating the word exercise. I tell every person that we bring on, I'm like, dude, we don't want you to hate the word exercise. And in order to do that, we've got to guide you in a way and ease you into this and build this foundation. And that's exactly what our approach is. So hopefully that gives you some clarity there. Zach, Anthony, you guys can chime in, man. Whoever wants to go first. What have you seen kind of in the fitness approach and what we're doing, what we're seeing guys over there, the progress that they're making?
Well, I like to tell everybody, because that is a concern for a lot of people, especially with all the COVID things happening right now. Some people are like, oh, but I don't know if I can do this or that because of my age or because of this or that. Dude, you guys do not have to worry about that. Jason is a former personal trainer. Anthony has his degree in exercise science. These guys know what's up. I didn't even tell you guys, but for NASM, I'm actually going to pursue the corrective exercise personal trainer. And I'm just pretty much always continuing my education as well. That's what I'm currently doing at the moment, as of last week. But we will meet you where you are, like Jason said. It doesn't matter what you have accessibility to in terms of equipment. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your fitness level. We will meet you where you are and get you to where you want to be. So I'm just gonna echo exactly what Jason said, because that's what we want to do for you.
Love it, man. And Anthony, you can chime in, man. Like, I think this is such a huge thing, because I think there's a lot of guys out there, whether you're, if it's quote unquote only 20 pounds, or if it's 100 pounds, whatever it is, it's important to you. And if it's fat loss, weight loss, you want to feel healthier. I think there's this big misconception from guys that haven't exercised in a while of, I feel like I'm going to have to hurt and be in more pain and be more miserable than I am right now before I start feeling good. And that's just not the case. And so, Anthony, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So for me on this one, I think it's a couple things. One, as guys, who's the hardest person on yourself? It's going to always be you. So it's never as bad as you guys truly think it is. So we're not gonna go big or go home. We're not gonna go in and spend 2 hours the first day at the gym and be so sore that you never want to see a gym again, right? We're gonna meet you where you're at, to your guys' point. But the problem is a lot of people are super hard on themselves, so they think it's a lot worse than it really is. And we're gonna start small, and we're gonna continually progress, and we're gonna teach you the lifestyle and how to continue to do it, throughout the process, right? The go big or go home mentality, like, okay, New Year's resolution, here we go, it's go time. I'm gonna knock this thing out, and day one, I'm going to do an hour of cardio and I'm going to do an hour of weights. And then, oh my gosh, I feel, so that's not the process, right? We're going to meet you where you're at. We're going to start slow, but you're going to continue to grow, right? Small wins over time, compounding interest. That's going to foster big results, micro to macro, as we talk about, right? So all the same things you said, but just get out of your guys' mind that it's worse than you really think it is, because it's probably not. And we're going to help you gain that confidence and get that back so that you guys are continuing to get the wins, and that's just going to compound your confidence as well. So that's my take on it.
Love it. No, man. And we're so big on the stacking up the wins, right? Like, one thing that we do in every single coaching call is get everybody to talk about their wins, because some guys just don't take enough credit for those wins. And when you start stacking up these little wins, man, that's how you build massive momentum. And that's also how you build confidence. I was telling a guy today, who I believe is on the live stream right now. I was like, look, man, is the first 2 or 3 workouts, is it going to suck? Maybe, but you know what? You've got a community of guys that are all cheering you on. You force your way through that, and now you got week 1 behind you, and now it's time to crank, right? And so it's not, it's never this process where you're going to have to be more miserable than you are now before you start to feel good. Because here's the thing, your body will get used to anything that you do to it, right? Like, if you start doing keto, it's going to get used to keto. If you start doing long fast for 48 hours, which, by the way, we don't teach, your body will get used to that. If you've never done a fast and you try it, your body will get used to it. Exercise is the same thing. And the thing about exercise, and the thing that I love most about exercise, is that your body wants more of it the more that you do, right? Like, you ease your way into it, start to lay that foundation, and then your body's like, hey, dude, like, I need some more of that shit, so let's go. And then the magic just starts to happen, man. And so let's move on to the second question. This is a big one, and I've got this. It says, I've seen a lot of, this was an email, I've seen a lot of weight loss programs out there, but you guys seem different. What do you think separates you from other fitness gurus? Well, first of all, I would not consider myself a fitness guru, maybe a health guru. No, I would not consider myself a guru per se, but I think the number one thing that I will say that what stands out most, or what separates us, and this is just my opinion, is that I'm not a big fan of the word holistic, but it is more of a holistic approach. That sounds very hippie-ish to me, and nothing against hippies. But we definitely are very big on sleep optimization. We are very big on managing your stress. And those are our first 2 pillars. And so most people, most other, health or fitness or weight loss programs, fixate on diet and exercise, and we just don't. Another huge component of what we do, and something that we pound often, is mindset and motivation. We have a whole class dedicated to mindset and motivation, specifically because we know we can never get enough mindset and motivation. We are not motivated half the time when we want to work out either, but the reality is we know it's a part of life. And so I would say on the surface, that's the biggest thing that stands out to me. I will say that I don't view what we do as a quote unquote weight loss program. I feel like massive amounts of fat loss is a byproduct of what we do, because we help you optimize all areas. When you do that, then the rest just starts to take care of itself. So that's my take. Anthony, Zach, what you guys got on that?
Yeah, it's not just about weight loss, although that's usually how it starts. It's about full-on wellness and health, right? So it's about more energy. It's about being more clear, more, I'm a firm believer in, this is something I always talk about, but fitness is the foundation of all things success. So if you start working on that, that's going to build your mind, your confidence. You're going to be a better husband. You're going to be a better father. You're going to be better with your business partners, your colleagues. A holistic approach is a good way to look at it, but it's a complete overhaul of everything, right? So
Sure.
I think don't just look at it as weight loss. It's so many other benefits. Like my favorite thing in the morning after workout is I am clear, cobwebs are out, I am
No
ready
doubt.
to roll, like energy, like all that stuff, all the dopamine, the adrenaline, all that stuff rolling high, and we're ready to tackle the day. So that's my approach, or that's my thoughts.
Love it. And I'll say this too, just on that energy and the clarity. Like people often ask me, how do you continue to go to the gym? How you been at this for 10 plus years? I've fallen off so many times. I'm like, dude, because my priorities are not my physique, they're not weight loss, they're not muscle mass. Like, do I have a good physique? Yeah, I'm not going to pat myself on the back. It's just a secondary of what I do, man. Like the two top reasons I go to the gym, period, are for mental clarity and for energy. And you nailed them both. Like if those weren't my driving factors, there's no way that I would still be motivated to go to the gym on a regular basis just because of a physique, right? Like my wife loves me no matter what. Does she like an attractive dude? I'm sure she does. Because I was also overweight, and she probably likes me more now than she does then in terms of physical attractiveness. But mental clarity and energy is such a massive part of life, man. And so, Zach, what is your take on what makes us different?
Well, you guys covered it, man. We are not a fat loss program. We are not an exercise regimen program. We are an overall just health optimization program. There are not many, or at least that I'm not aware of, other programs that will teach you how to just perform optimally in every area of your life regarding every facet of health and fitness. We are trying to get you from not just from an aesthetic point of view to where you want to be, but just your mind, your body, everything. This is not just like Jason covered earlier, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon for us with no ending to it. And this is just the kind of lifestyle that we want to teach you guys. And this is what makes us different. Is it's not, hey, after 8 weeks, you're going to have abs. No, that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. Anybody, as a matter of fact, anybody who calls themselves guru, I hate the word guru, because whenever I see the word guru, it just reminds me of gimmicky.
Yeah.
It's always, when you see guru, you're going to hear the word sprint. You're going to hear the word 6-week abs. You're going to hear all those hot buzzwords, but it all equates to bullshit. And that's not what we're about.
No, I can't agree more.
And I'm just going to keep it real, man. It completely is. And that's not what we're about. We're here to make impact. We're here to help. And that's why we're here answering you guys' questions. I don't know another group that does a weekly live. I've been in a ton of fitness groups, a ton. I dropped them all. They're garbage. They're full of negativity. We don't have that here. We have camaraderie, brotherhood, and we are here to help. We are completely different. Boom.
No, I love it.
Mic drop.
There you go.
Well, no, this is brand new. Never mind.
So the third question, we'll keep them rolling here, man. Third question, this will be a pretty easy one. For occasional muscle and joint pain, do you have any recommendations for reputable CBD creams or roll-ons? I do have a CBD company that I guess you could call it an affiliate. I've never used it. I'm not sure if you would get a discount on this, but I've actually used their CBD oil. They're very reputable. They're a very, very highly regarded company, and they're out of Boulder, Colorado, which is like right in the heart of, THC land, even though CBD is no THC. With that being said, I can go back. Whoever wrote that question, I forgot. I didn't make a note of that, but whoever wrote that question, I'll go back and happy to send you guys send you a link there, get you more information on that, and I can drop that in the I'll send that in the comments tomorrow, so you guys can see that. If anybody else wants that information, let me know, and I'm happy to do that. If you do, just type CBD in the comments. Anthony, I know you mentioned something else in regards to that question. So what did you want to add there?
Yeah, so a couple things. I think guys are inherently inflexible, and flexibility is key, and I think that's something to look at. But I also have recently invested in percussion therapy. So if you see, it's called TheraBody, like a Theragun. So you see the things that look like drills with the little balls that vibrate back and forth consistently. But that really gets blood flow, oxygen to the muscles, to the joints. Great for warm up, great for just overall, just feeling better, right? So I use it for a warm up, and then I use it at night before bed, and that's something I can show you guys too. So they're expensive, I'm not gonna lie. They're the real deal though, so it's an investment, and I'm not saying you guys need to spend that. Ultimately, flexibility, foam rolling, those kind of things. If you want to just get started with something simple, that's the starting point for you. But
cool. that was a pretty basic question, Zach. I won't get your take on that. We'll move to the next one. How do you know if you're actually ready to invest in your health and will actually follow through? That's a great question. So it's very hard for me to tell you how you'll know when you're ready. For me, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. I didn't like hitting snooze 8 times a day. I didn't like living off energy drinks and feeling like shit by noon. I didn't like, the way that I was feeling throughout the day, and then mid-afternoon, hitting that mid-afternoon fog and needing another energy drink. And so I was ready, and I knew it. And so in terms of investing in your health and actually following through, that's one of the main reasons why we're so big on community. We have a brotherhood that has been formed in our private community where these guys are literally just feeding off of each other. And so when you doubt yourself for following through, you stay plugged into the community, you stay plugged into our coaching calls, and you keep in communication with Zach, myself, and Anthony, and you speak up when you need help. Like, that's the main thing, is communication is key. If we don't know you guys need help, we can't help you. And so, dude, you have community, you have coaching calls, you have curriculum, you have myself, Zach, Anthony, all there to support you. There's not a more ideal scenario for you if you're looking for, if you're doubting yourself on follow through. But again, you absolutely have to be ready. So, Zach, what is your take on that?
Go to Anthony real fast. Sorry, I was looking at the comments right now for the questions later.
Oh, you're good. Anthony, what's your take on that, man? How do you know if you're actually ready to invest in your health and it will actually follow through?
It's, I think it's something that if you consistently, it's bothering you every day, if you're stressed, if you consistently feel like, again, the energy's low. And, for me, it was when I found out I was having twin girls, I knew something needed to change. That was a long time ago, but it might be a major life event, or it might just be enough is, like you said, Jason, enough is enough, right? I've had enough. I know that I can do better. I think we all deserve to be the best version of ourselves. And once we truly believe that and realize that and want better for us, like one of my favorite things to talk about is I want to be the fit grandpa, right? I know, like, I've got 3 girls. I want to be around for my grandkids. I want to walk my girls down the aisle. That's my motivator. That's my why. That's the reason I get up at 5 a.m, even though I hate it. Right. So I don't know if you're always going to just know. Sometimes you just have to make the decision, and you guys deserve it. That's really what it boils down to, is know that you guys deserve it. And by not taking control of it, you guys are doing yourselves an injustice.
Yeah, so I'll talk about it. I'll make it quick though, because we do have a lot of questions and we're going to run out of time otherwise. But there's a saying that says the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, but the second best time is now. So if you want me to answer that question, now is the time. You're here. You're in the right place. You took that first step towards being the best version of yourself. So if you are here right now, you're already doing it. You don't realize it, but you already are. All you got to do now is have that actionable plan and that help that you need to get where you want to be. And that's where we're here to propel you.
Love it.
Oh, Jason, you're kind of quiet. We can't hear you.
Yeah, you cut out, Jason.
Yeah, you cut out. Well, if you can't, if while Jason gets that fixed, why don't we cover one of the first questions that we saw in the group? Because
pull it up, Zach, if you got it.
Yeah, I can't read lips, so I won't be any use there. So the first thing that we
just sounded a little further away.
You said what? Sorry.
Can you guys hear me now?
Ahead.
Oh yeah, we hear you, dude.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go with the questions.
Okay, so the first thing that we heard was from was Daniel Walker. He actually said that he needs more energy, but this is the one that I think you touched on with him, Anthony, right? The hard time sleeping and distressed right now because his son's in the NICU due to being premature. Any idea to help distress right now? De-stress, I think, is what he means.
Yeah, so I'll take that one
ahead.
offline.
Anthony,
go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I'll take that one offline. So I had daughters in the NICU for 30 days, twin girls, right? So I can take you through some specific stuff I did, but overall, it's still try to get some sleep, go to bed at the same time, write down gratitude. I mean, that's always going to be a key factor. And then journaling, journaling that, hey, this is temporary, this is, what I need to do the next day, those kind of things. It goes back to gratitude mostly, but Daniel, I think I already messaged you to PM me, and I'm happy to have a conversation on what I went through specifically with that one.
Sure. Cool, man. Yeah, and Daniel actually, I've spoken with him too recently. We got his form, and so we'll be talking more about that. So Daniel, looks like you'll be talking to Anthony and myself, man, and so we'll make that seamless for
Sweet.
you and provide clarity on anything we can. I also had a son that spent some time in the NICU. I'll chime in. He was in there for about a week, and those are trying times, man. So I get it, and it's a challenging situation, but the main thing, the main takeaway that I can give you, I realize sleep can be inconsistent in those situations. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts there, but you've got to force yourself to make time for you, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, so that you have time to actually process what's going on. When you're constantly trying to keep up with the rat race, you got the NICU situation going on, you got the rest of your life, the rest of your family. You're a dude, you're carrying around a lot of weight on your shoulders, man. And so you've got to have an outlet. And if that's a gratitude journal for 2 or 3 minutes and a 5-minute meditation, whatever that looks like for you, dude, like that could be massive. And those are just little tiny things. That's just breaking the surface when it comes to stress management. But that would be my take, man. It's got to be a priority. It's got to move up the totem pole of priorities in your life so that you actually commit to it. So that would be my suggestion there. But we'll continue this dialogue with you for sure, man. Zach, what else you got in terms of questions, man?
All right, let me see where the next one is. I know there was one from Frank Barnett. He said, ideas on how to meet my protein needs without blowing out my fat macros. I can only do so many shakes a day. So what it seems like he's asking is, what are some of you guys' protein go-to foods that are low on fat is pretty much what he's asking.
Good question. And my take is that we are all about sustainability. All right. And so the fact that you're counting macros right now would not be something that we would teach inside of our program. And there's also, and I'll let these guys chime in too. There's a lot of science now, and I can send you an article on this if you'd like. But there's some newer science that's actually showing we don't need as much protein as we thought we once did in terms of building lean muscle mass. So there was this old theory where, the bodybuilders are doing 1 gram per pound. Like when I was in my bodybuilding phase, I was shooting for 300 grams of protein a day. And it was miserable.
Dang.
Try eating a steak with baked potatoes and broccoli, literally an hour and a half after you just ate a steak, baked potatoes and broccoli. It's not a fun life to live. And so I don't do bodybuilding anymore. I still lift weights, but with that being said, macro counting is not something that we teach really. And so that might be something that, we can have this discussion a little bit more, but that might be something that, you may loosen up a little bit depending on what your goals are, because that can be stressful long-term, right? The reality is, are you going to count macros for, the next 20 years? Are you counting macros just to get to a weight goal? But then when you do, what's the next step? Do you want to be logging things in MyFitnessPal all the time, always studying the percentages of macros or the percentages of calories and what you have left? Like, that's not a life for me. If you love that, we can definitely provide you some insight, but that's my take on that. Anthony, what you got?
I was just going to say, it goes back to his goals, right, Frank? I'm not sure what your goals are with that much protein. If you're looking to bodybuild or there's definitely some things you can do, but we don't want you stressing out about, I got to log my stuff again today, or man, I forgot to log it yesterday and now I'm behind and now I got to try to adjust and all this other stuff, right? It just turns into a vicious vortex and then you get highly frustrated, right? So that's not what we teach necessarily, but Frank, we're happy to, once we find out your goals, if we need to address it more, we certainly can. And I know Zach's probably got some stuff on that too. But
yeah, I was going to say, Frank, shoot me a message, man. I want to see where you're at and what you're kind of doing. And then I can kind of help clarify what's going on with you right now and see if you're actually having more protein than you actually really need. Because Jason is right. It's not like back in the 70s, the golden ages of bodybuilding, when they're like, 300 grams of protein every day. We can't even utilize that many grams of protein for muscle protein synthesis or AKA muscle building in a day anyway. So let me know how much you're actually eating. Just open that conversation with me, shoot me a message, and let's get you dialed in, man.
Yeah, that's thanks for doing that, man. And I'll just add to that one thing is like, when you guys are talking about protein, when you're out there looking at these protein shakes that are saying 60 grams per serving, just know this, your body can only digest and process about 30 grams at a time. Now it's give or take from person to person. And so if you're consuming 60 grams of protein, you're going to pee off about half of that, which is just more strain on your kidneys. And so some of that mislabeling and that nonsense, hopefully we can provide you some clarity there. Is cardio key or weights key? That's coming from William. William, I'm going to tell you right now, man, both are key, right? The reality is if you just do cardio, I think you mentioned you are 300 and you want to get to 235. If you got to pick one or the other and you want to lose weight, I'm going to tell you right now, it'd be weights. But I think you need both, man. If you're at 300, you got to have those heart health benefits from steady state cardio. We teach a very specific kind of interval training that's great for losing body fat while maintaining muscle mass. And it's more of an anaerobic exercise. But I would not discredit steady state cardio just for the simple fact that it is going to help you with general overall health and well-being. It will help with heart health. It will help with blood pressure. So I would not say it's a one or the other. It's the right combination of the two that doesn't equal you spending half your life in the gym. That's my take. What do you guys got?
So I think both are actually important as well because they both serve different purposes. So cardio is actually it's going to be good for your heart, cardiovascular health. It's going to be good for endurance. Now weights, that's going to be good for your aesthetics. And that's also going to build that lean muscle tissue on you so that you can become a calorie burning machine. The more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn. But let me actually flip the script a little bit because both of those aren't what's going to get you to your goals. You're going to have to focus more so on your nutrition. But to answer your question, you definitely want to do both.
Yep. And again, don't lose sight of the other pillars that we've talked about tonight with sleep and stress management, man. Like those two, if you can get your sleep and stress dialed in, then your efforts with fitness, your efforts with nutrition, you mentioned you want to lose about 65 pounds. That's about where I was. I was 60 pounds overweight. And dude, until I got those other two pillars dialed in, I was managing my stress and I was getting good quality sleep. That scale just wasn't budging much for me, no matter how much effort I was putting in. And then it was frustrating and overwhelming because I was trying to do fad diet after fad diet. And the reality is that sustainable for you? And so I fell on my face with keto and Whole30 and all these other fad diets out there. So that's me.
Speaking of keto, Matt Nevea, he asked, is keto sustainable?
Not in this group. No, no, we've talked about
not that I've ever seen.
Yeah. I've seen too many horror stories with keto, man. Like there's not very many success stories out there where somebody actually kept the weight off. My question always is this, is can you look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're never going to eat carbs again? For me, the reality is no. I mean, you look behind me and you see this burger and beer on my logo or our logo. A burger and a beer is not keto friendly. And that's a normal part of my life. If I want fajitas, if I want pizza, these things are some of my favorite foods. And I'm not willing to give that kind of stuff up. And so, for me, keto is not sustainable. I've seen a couple of people swear by it and are still on it. But that's the thing. You can't get off of it once you're on it, or you're going to go back to your old ways and then weight starts creeping up. And so most people who do keto because they want to lose a lot of weight quickly. Well, that weight is going to come back even quicker when you go back to your old lifestyle, which probably consisted of poor eating habits, which led you down the road of keto. So that's my take. Any other questions in the comments there? We got one more here on
why you look for that last or not last question, sorry, but why you look for the next question. I actually spoke with a girl in another fitness group, and she said that she had a coach actually during contest prep for a bikini competition do keto for 5 months, and she did not compete because she ended up in the hospital.
Oh, yikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I'm like,
if you're somebody who has seizures, keto's great, right? Like that was one of the main reasons it was that diet was created, not for weight loss. So anyway, that's a sidebar. The last one, this is always one that comes up. How much does it cost to work with you guys? Look, what we do is a very customized approach. It is definitely not a cheap one-size-fits-all program, man. This is a very high-level, results-driven experience where we'd be working closely together to seamlessly implement our strategies and our system into your life and get you plugged into our private community so you can crush along with those guys. And so it is just not a Beachbody DVD, guys. It's not a $197 online course. Like you'd be working with 3 high-level professionals. And so the side note here that I want to make is that, consider the cost of staying where you're at. I come from the ICU, man. I've seen guys in their 40s I had a guy at 38 years old come in and had a double bypass surgery. Think about how much that cost at 38, dude. The guy's probably still paying on it 20 years later. Heart attack these days, depending on your insurance, you're talking around 20 grand, man. Like, do you want that burden? Sometimes there's not a warning sign. Sometimes heart attacks are so bad, you never have chest pain and you just drop dead. Can you go through that? And I don't want to scare you, but like, I've seen this shit on a daily basis for an entire 6 years of my life. Young guy in his 50s who stroked out with the entire left side completely limp, stuck in a nursing home at 52, I think. A lot of guys in their 40s having massive heart attacks. I've got vivid memories of doing CPR on guys while their family members were in the ICU room watching me, hoping and praying that dad was going to pull through. You don't want that to be you. So when you talk about cost and price and all that, just think about how much it's costing me to stay stuck where you're at right now, and how much better your life could be if you had a real sustainable solution. And that's what we offer. So what we do is very customizable. It depends on your needs, depends on your situation, level of coaching. There's a lot of aspects, a lot of nuances that come into play. So that's my answer there. We are running short on time. So now I want to give you guys a commercial break. And let me ask you this. If you guys got value, drop value in the comments below so that anybody comes on to watch the replay tomorrow, we'll see you guys type value. If they see that, it's timestamped, they're going to be like, oh, I guess I need to stick around. So if you've gotten value tonight, give me a value in the comments now. And this is your commercial break. This is where we're gonna now transition into what it would look like to partner with us moving forward, and kind of go over a little bit of the components there, and go from there. So give you about 30 seconds. If you want to check out, again, no offense. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you guys that don't want to stick around next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So with that being said, what I would like you to do is, if you want more information, you say, look, I've loved everything I heard tonight. I've watched some of your other trainings. I watched the intro video that you sent out in the email. I've seen some of the client interview videos, all of that good stuff. You know that you like us. You know what we're about. You want to be part of what we've got going. What I want you to do now is drop the words "I'm next" in the comments below, and one of us is going to reach out to you.